And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 2025 RSL Revival StarCraft League Last Chance Qualifier co-stream. It's been an intense broadcast already. 7 hours, just under 7 hours of StarCraft, and we are expecting at least maybe another two. It's going to be one best of seven remaining. The qualifying match here for tomorrow's event. Remember, this is a 2-day tournament. Day one here today, we have the last chance qualifier. Tomorrow we have the playoff bracket featuring Hero, Classic, Zaun, 3 Protoss, and 1 yet to be determined player, either a Terran or a Zerg. One of the two will be joining the plethora of Protoss. Who's it going to be? As you can see here, we have the bracket. Maru, he took down Ryung 3-0. He took down Shin 3-2. And Reynor also took down Jimmy, took down Percival, took down Solar to make it to the qualifying match. Both players have been tested, making their way into the final series, and we'll see which of these two players will be joining the plethora of Protoss. Will it be Maru? Will it be Reynor? Will it be a Terran? Will it be a Zerg? Regardless, we at least have some diversity. At least it's not pure Protoss tomorrow. Thank God. Thank God. So it won't be pure Protoss. It'll be a little bit of Terran or Zerg in the mix, but only one is the issue. Only one of the two. Will it be Zerg or Terran? We're here to find out. Here. Coming into the series, I do lean towards Maru. Maru's been looking very strong as of late, has been looking very powerful, very good. There's a reason why Shin had to resort to some shenanigans in his series against Maru, and hey, he almost brought him down. He had a crazy back and forth and almost brought down Maru. But I'm sure Reynor will have a very different approach here for the series. And again, as a reminder, it's going to be best of 7, not a best of 5, so a longer series, longer matchup. Expect like an hour and a half long series. I'm ready for it. Let's go. There's a chance we might get some shorter games, but because of the map pool, I do expect to see some longer games here, to be honest. There are certain maps in this tournament map pool which do favor turtle heavy play, which do favor longer play, and I expect to see that kind of play out of Maru if he's able to. If you notice in the last series, we saw a lot of greed out of Maru. He's known for that. I'm sure Reynor is aware. We'll see if Reynor can punish some of that greed. We'll see. We'll see if he can punish. What I like about the current ladder map pool, which there are some maps incorporated, is that because they don't really favor that turtle heavy style, they do promote more aggressive tendencies and more aggressive play, and that's what I'm looking forward to from the side of Maru, depending on the maps, depending on the vetoes, depending on the order. Let's go. Also, shout out to RSL, !RSL in the chat. You will get a link to the Patreon page of the RSL, so you can help support the tournaments, support the scene, and support those players. Likewise, shout out to the sponsors as well, to Pulsar, as well as to the Archon Studios. They're working on the miniatures game, and I'm very interested in the miniatures game itself, so I'm excited to see how that does come together. Oh boy, as that is right around the corner. Again, coming into January, we'll be getting the full rule set of the miniatures game. We get the full rule set, and of course a kind of a milestone, kind of a roadmap. There we go, roadmap of the releases of what is coming up next for the Archon Studios miniatures game when it comes to the release dates of certain units and of certain units and critters and things coming up for the miniatures game. Gonna be a lot of fun. I would hope. Meanwhile, there's the RSL, there's the Patreon. Catching with chance. Bom dia, jóvenes. Bom dia, papi. Bom dia. Bom dia. Buenos días. Fala, galera. See, big game in the chats. What? Maru versus Reynor? Yes. Reynor, he's been in Korea for 2 months, I think. For around 2 months at this point. He's been in Korea for quite some time.
Although there was the spin-off show of StarCraft 2 tournaments after the ending of those Kespa tournaments, so that was nice as well. But no, I mean, regular content in StarCraft is really where it's at. I as much as anyone, loves a big weekend tournament, something like this. This is fantastic. It's exciting.
And for those who are curious, yes, I'm now full of pizza.
Content,
ready to go.
You don't build up to something like this properly, so it's great to have RSL as part of that now.
Yeah, we've got different tiers depending on whatever you're willing to support us at. And if you're not able to support us financially, you can also just join for free. We get your email. We can keep you notified about updates with tournaments and what we're going to do.
And we don't sell it.
And we don't sell your information. Yeah. Not unless the Patreon goes way down.
It's not me. I would sell your information, but Tasteless doesn't. So
we're going to go into this finals in a little bit here.
We got Tasteless for the finals.
It is a best of 7, and I got to say, we've seen some really interesting TvZs here today. Some kind of unexpected games, particularly from Shin. being much more aggro, much more explosive than I was expecting. He's
I think
usually a
we're
little
all
bit more
expecting
middle
Shin
of
to
the
be
road.
aggressive.
But Maru
And
nearly
crazy.
lost. I do feel like
Yeah.
Maru seems to be defeatable in the matchup TvZ, where most of the time this is kind of the matchup that he really never loses in.
Well, he can definitely grind out games that no one else in the world can in Terran vs. Zerg.
I mean, I would say that the Shin series was very unique. This is, I mean, you know,
Gosh, I don't know if you caught that, but he's like,
that's
today's been hell and tomorrow will be hell.
there's a reason why I did make the joke that our toasters didn't watch the last series because they didn't ask any questions about it. But last series was very unique and very Shin, I should say. I don't really expect to see Reynor go for any of the builds that Shin went for. Even going into 2-base Muta, I don't think Reynor's really one to take that risk, to be honest. Like, he's willing to go Mutas, don't get me wrong, but rushing into Mutas, that's a different story. So I expect to see Reynor thrive in the mid game. Again, he's less chaotic compared to Shin, so I would push back against them talking about like, oh, you know, Maru, he's like he's bleeding like in TvZ, like his TvZ is worse than it used to be. Like, what? No, like Shin's just that crazy and that chaotic, and he brings that to the table. That's what's unique about Shin. I feel like the idea of trying to portray Maru forced the ace match against Shin and saying that says something badly about Maru is not the kind of phrasing or not the kind of painting I would want to kind of like portray here. I feel like that's not what we want to go for. I think that's a little bit disingenuous. Trying to push the idea that like that suddenly means that Maru's TvZ is worse or worse than it used to be. I would push back against it. I would say no. If you watched Maru previously, especially during RSL, then you would know that his TvZ is looking insanely good. And I'm excited for what Reynor brings to the table. I'm excited for this series. Like, I expect it to be a back and forth. I expect it to go to, you know, a longer series, a game 5, a game 6, maybe a game 7. That'd be the ideal. We'll see. We'll see if we can get there.
You pose a good idea there that I don't think you really even touched upon. This is RSL, this is your tournament. We have a 3-player map that can't possibly be split. Why don't we just play 7 games on Mothership?
That's right.
True.
It'll be interesting if we do get that map. Is actually one of our maps.
Because
because
7, I think we probably will.
Yeah, well, I also expect us to go to game 7.
Yeah.
Or at least like game 6, something like that.
Yeah.
I think so.
And, you know, if we do, let's say it's a 3-player map, then we're going to probably just see them try to branch into the same area. And maybe that's Zerg favorite. I don't know. Maybe that
feels like it is,
situation.
but
Mothership
I guess
is Zerg
like,
favorite.
If anyone can take something that is favored from another race and turn it into their favor, it's probably Maru.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Reynor,
Predictions
on the
open.
other hand,
We open
I
predictions
think
when the
he's
game
had
starts.
Not an easy day, but it's been fairly smooth. Right? He also
We
had
open predictions when the
time
game
off,
starts,
but it's
Pappy.
just the nature
So
of
hold
the
on.
format, the
Waiting for
production
the
of
series to
show, right?
begin.
We don't have the Final 4 played at the same time because we want to catch both of the games. So Reynor's matches were earlier, so we had a little bit of time off to rest, and it'll be interesting to see how these two guys approach it. Also, remember that whoever wins here doesn't have to worry about any of the other matchups other than versus Protoss down the road. Unless
The
they
scariest matchup.
Excuse me, no, that wouldn't happen. So unless they, it's going to be all Protosses for whoever manages to advance here.
Are we sabotaging Zhao now?
I'm like making up a fake losers bracket that they go through for tomorrow. Anyways, guys, we are ready to do this. The players are going to be vetoing.
There is a losers bracket tomorrow. Am I crazy?
Their maps. We're going to see what the 7 maps are going to be. It looks like we will.
Oh, wait, no. So
starting
there's a
off
third place
seven.
match.
This
Okay,
is done
okay.
in real time. The players are selecting and vetoing their maps on their PCs. And so far, it does appear we're going to start with Persephone, then on to Evil Heart.
All right, yeah, Evil Heart was kind of.
Wait, are there only 7 maps in this tournament map pool?
People on the Patreon
Wait.
actually end up voting on some of these maps.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Okay,
getting in there and infiltrating and trying to get some really truly terrible maps into it. You remember the map where tanks couldn't walk through the center? Let's get that map back. I can't remember its name, though.
Yeah, you know, I think if you just let pros select the map.
So we've gotten rid of Botanical and Maganatha. Maganatha is one of the larger maps of the map pool. It's also relatively open. Botanical is very defensive. In my mind, Botanical is a better Terran map, and Maganatha is a better Zerg map. So these vetoes do kind of make sense.
Going back over here to, well, actually, I think it will be going back to Reynor. We'll see.
I'm a little bit surprised that Maganatha was vetoed instead of Mothership, but at the same time, I also know that the rush distance by ground on Mothership is shorter than that of Maganatha. Or I say shorter. I mean, I would say that I feel like aggressive tendencies are a little bit stronger on Mothership. So Maru could be more active there.
You're most likely to win on, or you've got some kind of special winning strategy that maybe the opponent's not prepared for in as early as possible. getting momentum in a
So, you know, there it is, Mothership.
important. There's the Mothership map we were talking about. That's the 3-player map, which does kind of create a situation where there is quite a bit of space on the map. Quite a bit of space for the Zerg to grow into. And it's going to be Celestial Enclave here for map number 4.
All right. You know,
Yeah, Celestial Enclave is one of the more defensive maps.
I actually kind of appreciate the map names overall in StarCraft 2. There's definitely some interesting ones in there. Maybe not Evil Heart.
Oh, then we have Tokamak and Winter
Never
Madness.
even heard of a Persephone.
I think we got the final 2 maps. It looks like it's going to be Tokamak, Winter Madness, and Magnetic North. So that is going to be the entire maps. All 7 maps are laid
The one
out.
thing I would suggest for future regarding this overlay is to have an indicator to show which map picks were corresponding with which player. I think a lot of people would be very curious as to that. I think I would as well. Like who vetoed what and who picked what.
Maru doesn't pull some proxy barracks play, and you know, I think Reynor, in general, like he'll mix in some aggression in a series like this. So I'd like to see some of that, and I would
Might
like
be the
to see
feedback
at least
regarding
one
the UI.
game where Maru just keeps nuking creep tumors for 35 minutes.
That could definitely happen. We could end up with like some really stretched out games here. And I'm curious, is Reynor going to do a decent amount of rushes? You know, Maru, it seems like even in a lot of these games where he goes for 3 command centers and it's spotted right away, kind of doesn't matter. He's just sort of able to absorb blow after blow, and sometimes those are his best
It's
games.
been a long day of StarCraft.
In the mid game, if he just lasts
Swing
into
lunge, papi.
the late game, the game sort of solves itself.
Este Monteun, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo
we already
estás?
saw
Bienvenidos.
Shin, I think, approaching
Nice
this very
shares there. They have some nice
directly by
shares.
Trying to do a lot of cheeses, a lot
Got
of
their
rushes,
DX racers.
a lot of, you know, throwing a lot of curveballs, right?
Yeah.
And trying to basically strong arm the game early and drive it to its conclusion before you can get to those long games that Maru likes to play. Now, the problem is that in 3 out of those 5 games, Maru actually stabilized, controlled the game very well, and then won. So that turned out to be a short series simply because Shin's aggression backfired and blew up in his face.
Well, I don't think Reynor will be that aggressive. Definitely plays a good mid-game and late game as well. But I think if it does get to that late game and Maru's still doing okay, it's going to be very, very tough to finish him off. Probably defensively the best overall Terran. Well, best overall Terran in probably every regard, actually.
Every time I see Maru on camera, he looks more lanky than I remember. Someone feed this guy. Someone get this man a pizza.
Right now, but other than that,
Get him a
other
pizza.
than those new young kids coming on dethroning our 30-ish-year-old Maru.
We are ready,
Oh,
everybody.
let's
This
go.
is game 1 in the LCQ finals of the RSL. In the bottom left, in the red, he is Maru.
Oh, we got some woos in the chat. In the crowd.
And his opponent here in the top left, in the blue, from Italy, he is Reynor.
Oh, was that a second SCV moving out? Did you see that on the map?
And
Did you see?
immediately in
Yep.
this game, we
Yep, there it
actually
is.
have,
We have the proxies, and here we go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Un momento here.
this is gonna be a
There we go.
very,
Predictions are now open. Place your bets, get your Gamba going as we get into our fresh best of 7. Remember, it's a best of 7, not a best of 5. And we do have not just 1, not just 2. We have 3 SCVs. 3 SCVs, proxy 3 racks. Maru, he wants to end things early here. Hyper committed play here by Maru. And we'll see if Reynor can scout this. The Overlord does veer off towards the left-hand side. So far, the Overlord will not confirm the Raxes, but the Overlord will get eyes in the bunker.
The longest or anything, but like he likes mixing in this type of play pretty often.
if you look at the position of the barracks, this is really important. He's hidden all 3 over there, but he hit 2 together and 1 a little bit further away. In case it's spotted, you might still not have the full amount of information. If you spot it on the low ground, you might think it's a 2 racks rush and still miscalculate how many units are going to come in and hit you. And so we're going to see.
Oh, does the Overlord? I believe it's barely not within range.
Be a completely blind position from Reynor.
Overlord goes in, doesn't scout.
Overlord is coming over
Oh,
and
turns
it
it
looks, yeah. See, that's always the way. Is you're
Yeah.
just out of range, man. Sometimes you just gotta send the Overlord on a crazy pattern.
Okay,
Now,
Marine
the
is scouted.
reverse Marine actually comes out
2
and
SCVs are
spawns right
revealed.
away, so this is actually, at least he's
Now, this is intentional. He's only showing 2 SCVs. Only showing 2. Boys are being pulled. Spines on the way. Good reaction.
Got to make the wall with the bunkers.
Second SCV is, sorry, third SCV is revealed.
Dance back and forth. There is one.
Reynor doesn't lose any drones. He commits.
The drones are on
He's
both
going for
sides.
it.
They want to try to come in here for a surround. They do isolate the SCV that is making the bunker.
Denies the bunker. Kills one.
Oh my gosh, already getting a good amount of
Kills one SCV. There's two
that
left.
SCV did go down. These two pretty darn low right now,
Oof.
and he does have to cancel. So
That's a
far,
lot of drones
so
going
good on
down there.
The blocking of the bunker, but
That's
if
a lot of
Maru's
drones.
count is just going to
But there's a
continue to
spine.
grow.
Yeah, the rush isn't done yet, and the position of the spine crawler, it's okay, but it's
Yeah,
not
Reynor holds.
ideal. It seems like
No,
there's
no,
a
no.
vacant
Like
area
Reynor, he
to the
holds.
right and a hatchery.
Maru, I mean, he's gonna try to break the spine. No shot. Oh, he pulled the boys. Let's go. He pulled the boys. It's all or nothing.
This game's about to end.
Yeah, those SCVs did a
Can he
great
get on
job
top of the
bodyguarding there
spine?
quite a bit.
Nice
The
control
drones
out of
are
Maru.
going
Very nice
instantaneously down.
control.
He has this queen trying to
He
put
pulls
some
back the
damage
weakened
on him as well.
marine, gets the
Marcus down
spine,
that spine
and he's done it.
continues to
No
fight.
shot.
Try to dive on the queen over here. The queen goes down. Just a few Marines, and that's
GG.
going to be it. Unreal. Maru actually, the initial all-in was held, and he just took all of his workers, and with his Hail Mary play.
GG well played. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap, and the camera didn't pan over, but yes, Maru did pull the boys for to commit to the all-in then and there. Reynor had held against the first wave. He was fine, but he wasn't aware of the SCVs. We weren't aware of the SCVs, and in the end, Maru, he was able to double down, get on top of that spine crawler, bring it down as well, and break Reynor. Quick win for Maru. Quick win, quick lead. With that, Maru takes game one, and now we're going to be getting into Evil Heart for game number 2. Now, Evil Heart is a very small map. It favors aggression, so we're expecting aggressive builds here. We're not expecting to see another proxy, not at all. We should be seeing a safer opener out of Maru, and this does give the opportunity for Reynor to play, maybe even play Roaches. Might even play Roaches. Maru has to make a choice. Does he open up 1-1-1 into safety Banshees, or does he open up with an extra Rax? Let's go. He might even open up 2x Reaper. True, that's an option. That is an option here for Maru.
Maru, great control, by the way, pulling the Marines that were injured.
Yep.
Away, basically perfect micro. Now we go into game number 2 in this best of 7. Maru up with a 1-2-0 lead. In the top right, in the red, he is Maru. And his opponent down here in the bottom left, in the blue, he is Reynor.
Basilisk.
You know, I don't think that's going to be the last proxy barracks type.
Hello, Reynor.
And in fact, look at this. The drone going across quickly now.
Yeah,
Is this
going for the
be
proxy.
aggressive?
There's no reason to drone scout. This should be a hatchery. So again, this should be a hatchery here from Reynor.
He's going to make a hatchery here. I feel like this is going to be really hard to pull off. Versus Maru of all people. I feel like I don't really ever see Maru lose to this, but let's see if this is an exception.
I see in the chat, do you expect Reynor to have responded differently if Maru showed 3 SCVs? 3 SCVs does mean that it's a much more committed / borderline all-in build from the Terran player, and it's harder to transition out of. So we would have seen a much more... it depends what Reynor prefers. Very quickly... Okay, very quickly talking about defense against proxy 3-racks. Against proxy 3-racks, it is very common for the Zerg player to give up on the natural, to get a second gas geyser and go Roaches, right? They just give up on the hatchery and they just go for Roaches as a response. Because, sure, they might lose the base, but they also know that it's a bigger commitment from the Terran player. Because there are only 2 SCVs, then Reynor tried to defend the natural, right? And not saying that you can't, but it is much more difficult to defend the natural against a proxy 3-racks opposed to a 2-racks, right? So, depending on which variation does kind of require a different response.
Reynor has a plan against that. What if it's not like you come with this strategy to the finals of this tournament and say, "Oh, phooey, he figured it out."
So he lets it finish. I was going to say, like, is there any
lets it
world
finish.
where he would let it cancel? You know, one of the problems against a bunker.
Now, focusing on this game, Reynor, I believe he is not going for an all-in. He's going to go for the queen, spread creep, and drone back at home. I believe that is the case, the plan, to just drone up and saturate.
And, you know, I love casting games like this because in a lot of the pro matches, I just don't get to see a game like this.
Yeah.
So 2 lings on the way, 4 lings. These are lings specifically from the hatchery, so he's making 6 lings across the map.
You know, some kind of
Does he drone back at home or does he make lings? We're holding on to the larva.
Well, it might just be that
Overlord.
he wants to, like, get a creep tumor out, like really slow down
8
the
lings.
landing,
He's committing.
down
Okay.
here, you know,
Reynor, he's doubling down.
this game into a different
I
position.
assumed he was going to drone behind this.
Reaper actually come around and he will push push that back. There's that creep tumor, and he made the Lings be timed out here to try to defend it, and it looks like he will be able to. So that will at least slow down Maru from taking the space.
It'll force a scan.
Passing up Lings. So there's obviously some kind of a follow-up, and I think the
so Reynor, he's going for the all-in.
Come down here and claim this area. He's going to hit you with so many Zerglings. He's
going for the Link Flood. We can see here that Maru did go for the natural, but he's getting a factory follow-up. He's not going for a third CC. This is a big gamble from Reynor. Reynor, who was hoping that Maru would go for the same response he went for against Shin.
Like, it doesn't seem as if he can break through the wall afterwards, but I guess we'll see.
Very, very peculiar game.
Okay.
He takes the bunker out. The hatchery, by the way, is still alive.
Yeah.
He's running.
So the creep is now fully spread on the map. Now he makes drones. So this is, I've just never seen a game like this. He's going back to making workers. Terran's stuck on one base and can't get down. Now Zerg can't get up in there because it's walled off and it's safe and it's secure. But, you know, we all know one of the worst positions to be in a StarCraft game in every passing minute is to be on one base.
So very quickly here, Reynor does deny the natural. He's able to spread creep, where he's going to be able to force out some scans, but he also made a massive wave of Lings. So this was a big investment from Reynor. It means that Reynor, he himself, did delay his own drone production. He delayed his own economy to make this work. So it's a very shaky kind of game state. It all depends on whether or not Maru can, or what the game state looks like once Maru gets his natural. Like, can Maru stabilize from here? And can he counterattack?
Take advantage of the kind of income he should have here.
Yeah, look at
now you can see Maru is going for 2 more axes before the third CC. So Maru actually is being quite committed here on 2 bases. Even after he expands, I mean.
You can see how they're spread out. Like
going for the Raven.
Force him to use multiple scans, but with that Raven, he's going to be able to just kind of walk down, clear the area, and prepare it for his next expand.
Without Hellions, it's going to be difficult here for Maru to actually maintain this position. That's a lot of Lings.
And I don't see the answer just yet. I think with the Raven, he obviously doesn't have to spend money on scans.
Like, Maru has to be so careful here with how he moves out.
Going to come down now. And, you know, is there some kind of an attack?
I'm loving the medevac.
Have a Zerg to come in here and basically drive
Lings are revealed.
Again? He does it. The command center can't land. I mean, every passing second is a little bit more painful for the Terran.
This is like a very funny amount of Zerglings to be trying to prevent any creep tumors from being cleared out. I really like the idea.
Oh my god, doesn't get the tumor.
He actually saves the tumor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he gets it.
Sacrificing the Reaper.
That was clutch. That was a good move by Maru. Throws away the Reaper.
And Zerg's going to be on 3 bases. So, you know, this is definitely a strategy Maru saved for this moment in this tournament. And I do feel like Reynor is very much ahead. I mean, the command center still hasn't landed.
He's got 3 bases.
Yeah.
He's got 3 bases against 1 base right
and look
now.
at this. He's just doing
I would push back against that. Look at the upgrades. Stim is finishing up, +1 is finishing up, a second medevac is arriving. So I feel like the casters are neglecting the fact that Maru is about to counterattack. Like, he is securing himself back at home, he's denying all this creep, and when he moves out across the map, he does have a more efficient army. So Reynor, he cannot freely drone. You can see that Reynor's making 12 more Lings. Like, Reynor, he has to make Lings, otherwise he's just going to topple over.
Way better than Speedlings. So Reynor's going to have to make a lot of units. He's going to have to make sure to crush this first attack. That's probably the most important thing that's going to come up in this game.
Okay, so here comes the counter push. And notice with the creep, I mean, it's not all encompassing on the map. It's basically a little highway that has now been picked
Reynor going for the backstab.
And that's going to free the map up. There's a Ling counterattack that's going to come in here, but a siege tank.
Nice tank shot. Very nice tank shot. Jesus.
Well, he does push it back. I think Maru right now just kind of preparing for this next push. Right?
And again, I don't think the cast has noticed, but there's no third CC. It's a 2-base all-in. Like, Maru, he's going for a 2-base all-in. I think he's on 5 Raxes, if I'm not mistaken. I think around 5 Raxes. No third CC. Hyper aggressive, hyper committed. Bailing speed is very delayed for Reynor, so he has to try to defend with slow Banes.
If he drops the ball here, I think he's going to lose control of this game. The Lings and the Banes are going to come.
He gets us around. Oh my god. Yeah, tanks go down. Massive pickoff.
These tanks and they will go down.
Getting those tanks is gigantic. He threw down some auto turrets to try to help out there as well. But you know what? I don't think there's any Banelings right this second. So Maru has a little bit of a timing to move forward.
Yeah, remember, no Baneling speed. We spoke about this.
Standing there trying to protect these morphing Banelings.
Yeah, he's trying to buy time.
Banelings, they should not connect.
Sustain here from Maru. But
Oh, the
even with
boys have
that,
been
the Lynx
pulled.
come in here, once
Oh
again,
my God.
SCVs like game 1, but in a different time in the game. The SCVs are pulled, and Reynor is
Bailings, do they connect?
The SCVs instead
Oh my God, barely not.
Almost off creep. And I think Reynor is.
But Maru's running out of steam. Maru, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units. Again, if Maru didn't lose those first 2 tanks, I think he wins. Like, if those 2 tanks survived that initial attack, and if he could push with those 2 tanks now with 3 tanks, then he could break this position. But
he's still rallying into this and trying to make it work, but it's looking worse and worse by the second.
Yeah, I mean,
getting us over the queens. Bailing speed is done. Yeah, bailing speed is done.
His expansion early on. The last
GG.
tank goes down, and Reynor ties it up 1-1. I have casted so many different games of StarCraft. I have never casted that game before.
Yeah, that was a new one. That was fresh. I really like the way that he made the mass circlings.
But GG well played. Again, a very intense back and forth here between Maru and Reynor, but that is what we expected out of Evil Hearts. Sorry, let's just wind this back. As a reminder, Evil Heart is a very small map of the map pool, very small map, short rush distance by ground. It is the smallest map of the map pool, so this kind of like crazy, quirky, proxy hatch, hyper-aggressive play is viable on Evil Heart. We shouldn't see that in the rest of the series, though. The maps are larger, the maps are bigger, it's less conducive to this, so we should be calming things down. I believe Game 3 should be on Mothership, if I recall correctly. I think it's Mothership into... Is it Tokamak?
You're not really sure what's going on out there.
Good. Hold on. I need to double check. Double check. But honestly, that was really close. I was really close. That was really intense. As again, as you mentioned, like Reynor catching those 2 tanks in the center of the map, that was game. Like if he failed to do that, everything could have swung heavily in the opposite direction in favor of Maru.
And in the bottom, in the very center,
but it's Mothership into Celestial Enclave.
Reynor.
Into Celestial.
I'm pretty interested to see what Maru's plan is going to be here, because I feel like watching Mothership, it can be a little bit hard to attack the further away bases as Zerg continues to grow. You know?
Yeah.
It feels like that can be pretty difficult. So I think you have to have a really dedicated plan as Terran and really work on just kind of nailing it down. Whether you're going to do like a parade push or you have some sort of timing attack type move you want to do. But going into one of these bigger macro games is going to be very, very difficult here for Maru.
Yes.
So this map having a 3rd spawn location does change a lot of the properties of how the players approach it early on. You know, a lot of times...
Tasis just ignores what Artosis just said. Okay.
If we go into a long macro game. I guess today's been a little bit different.
So we do have a hatch pool opener out of Reynor. Reynor is opening up Gasless. Greedy start out of Reynor is what I will say. I will lean towards what was just being said. This map is very large. It's very open. This is considered to be a more Zerg favored map because of how large and open it is. And because that it is difficult for a Terran player to turtle up and get into a late game on this map. But that is specific to a late game situation. In the early to mid game, we can see aggression actually succeed from Terran players and actually succeed when it comes to their pushes, when it comes to their early timing attacks. So we are expecting a more aggressive build here. We're expecting like a 3cc 2-on-1 or a 3cc 3 racks. We're expecting something, and speaking of, yep, there it is. 2nd racks. So this is the kind of play that we're expecting out of Maru. This is the kind of play that is more standard here, is going for extra racks early into a stronger stim timing, into stronger drop play for a more aggressive mid game. So that's kind of what Maru is working towards. And again, this is what we expect to see on Mothership. And there it is. We have a 3rd racks on the way. Okay. 3 racks follow up. Even more aggressive. I say even more aggressive. As a reminder, this is similar to the game that we saw against Shin, if you recall earlier today, where Maru, he's going for a 4 racks. Oh my god. No factory, no starport, late medevacs, but a heavy marine count. Hyper aggression out of Maru. Let's go.
We've definitely seen 2-base play, but this is like a lot of marines right away. And
he's channeling like his inner Beyond here. Like he's doing something completely wild. He's making.
Toast is still mad. Already left him to make a beautiful family. I mean, I said this before. I say it again. Tasteless is currently more knowledgeable about StarCraft than Artosis. I remember we were co-streaming EWC, and it was really weird to notice that and to hear what they were saying and to recognize that because Artosis like, I think this is like the second time that Artosis is casting StarCraft this year. Like Artosis, he barely casts StarCraft nowadays. StarCraft 2 specifically, sorry. StarCraft 2, he plays plenty of Brood War. But we are in a situation where Tasteless is more knowledgeable than Artosis, which is crazy. But that's 2025.
He's basically locked in at tier 1 stuff, and it's almost a very un-Maru-like way to play the game. If you covered this idea up, I would never be able to tell you who was doing this.
Yeah, no, I would just assume this is like a GM ladder game on the NA server.
No, I would push back against what they're saying. Maru, if you remember, he was the one who who popularized the 2-Ranks Reaper and the bio follow-ups that Bjorn was pushing a couple of years ago. Maru, he was actually alongside Bjorn when it comes to, like, you know, in the lab, like working on that build. They built it up together coming into DreamHack Atlanta. So now, like, a hyper-aggressive build like this is kind of like par for the course for Maru. Especially if you saw him in the previous games, in the previous series with Shin.
Now, the travel distance on the map.
But again, this is a 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in by Maru. Boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. And Reynor sees nothing. His overlords are not in position.
The SCVs are coming in front of these Marines right now. Oh, man.
Okay,
look at this. He brings them in a secondary direction. So these 5 Marines will hunt the Overlord. Oh, man.
So enjoy the first. Now he sees. Reynor was droning.
Reynor knows what's going on.
This is kind of crazy. Now, because Reynor didn't have anything to check for this, he only has seconds to react.
Yeah, we have 3 spines on the way. They're so late.
Zergling's about to hatch. He's got
They're so delayed.
Started, but the rush is hitting
and again, Reynor just never scattered. Reynor, he never scattered. He never saw the 2-base all-in. Boys are being pulled, but likewise, Maru, he's got his own boys.
We have the SCVs in the front
Stutter stepping.
right now. The drones being pulled, but the amount of damage coming out of
Jesus.
these Marines is intense.
Yeah, the SCVs
and he breaks through. He breaks through Reynor.
The Marines to try to win the fight. They take out all the queens at the entrance and spill into the main.
Oh man, this is way too much damage right now. Some more lings are hatching, but
20 drone kills.
He's gonna go ahead and try
going for the spawning pool.
to stem the flow here of these Marines, but with the spawning pool going down, he can't even create more units.
At the same time, Reynor's intercepted all the
Reynor's intercepting.
Reinforced. We have this small
nice moves by Reynor.
Here. There's no medics to heal them because we never saw that tech developed in this game. The main base goes down. Reynor still has 2 expansions, one at the natural, one a little bit further away to the top right of that. Behind it, Reynor has started, Maru has started his tech.
This is
fun fact, Maru's stuck in the main base of Reynor. At least until Medevacs arrive.
Which will do an okay job of stopping the Marines trying to come back down. But the thing is, Maru's teching behind this.
Yeah.
This is one of the most unusual TvZs I've ever seen.
Yeah, these guys are really busting out some bizarre stuff here tonight.
I think this is advantage Maru here.
It is.
I know he did.
Like Maru, he's ahead economically, he's ahead in tech, he's ahead in upgrades. Like Maru, he's in a much better position. 1-1 is going to kick in soon for Maru, and again, we're waiting for the Medevacs, really, for Maru to actually have more longevity and just snowball from there. Winding it back, it just came down to lack of scouting. Like, Reynor just didn't check the main base. I mean, his overlords weren't in position because he checked top right because of the 3-player spawn map. So the overlords were out of position, and he just didn't. He didn't see. He didn't see, papi.
Because it's so unsafe.
Well, it looks like he wants to put on a little bit more pressure, and in fact, like, I don't know, maybe they can do something. Oh, and look at this. He actually stims down the ramp with the already very hurt Marines, but there's plenty of Zerglings out here, so that actually gets clean.
Overextension by Maru.
Yeah, that was very risky, and it backfired.
Yeah. That makes me feel more confident that there might be a way for Reynor in this game, because I think if you leave those up there and you make 2 medevacs, and said medevacs fly across the map to those Marines, the game is over. But wasting those is like, okay, maybe there's a way back for Reynor.
You can see that Maru's checking for ninja bases.
Favored, but maybe.
Checking for ninjas.
Yeah, like, I guess the win conditions for Reynor.
The lair only just now began, so there's going to be a window here where Maru can push with 1-1 upgrades and stim before bailing speed.
Which I think is doable, by the way. He does have 1-1. Remember that Reynor was developing normally before this attack hit.
Yeah.
So Maru just finished up his own 1-1. And medevacs are going to be very, very late here. So, you know, we're looking at a game, we're like 8 minutes in. But
you say they're late, they're right around the corner. There they are.
And there they are.
Yeah, that's going to make it so much harder. Like, Reynor just doesn't have anything quality to deal with these. His anti-air is going to be limited to just some queens trying to push back on the medevacs. And, you know, obviously he's got to get...
Now, thankfully, it's only 2 medevacs.
Trying to do right now.
This is going to apply pressure. This
So for now,
can
Maru's
force a
just gonna try
reaction.
to clean up any creep that's out here. I don't think he can go into the main and drop it. I would not be. Well, I guess he's going to go for it anyways. Let's see if there's Lings here ready to try to fight this.
The main, you mean his high ground third? Yeah, the Lings come in and will force that up. Very good.
His high ground
catching
fourth
those
base
before
back.
they're all out.
Should have go to third.
Now more medevacs on the way, some mines coming out as well. It just becomes more and more dire for Reynor the entire time.
Yeah, we've seen the medevacs pick up again. And, I mean, Reynor does look pretty secure. The question is really going to be about when the push comes in. We've got more Marines, but we've also got Marauders. We've got Widow Mines. This could be a Widow Mine push coming up here. Remember, a lot of static defense. Not easy to break. I guess if there's no Lings here, that doesn't matter, though. He's going to be able to take out almost both of these. Oh!
Ooh, that shouldn't have happened.
Insanely good engagement there from Reynor, but
Yeah, Bailey's connected.
Really loses too much. So it
Oh my
continues to get a
Okay.
bit worse here.
That was a
for
shot.
Zerg player. And Maru unloading his entire army. The army is just getting so big. I think we're very
Yeah,
close
Maru's got to tighten up his play, but he has 2-2 on the way. Meanwhile, no 2-2 for Reynor. He can't afford it. He can't afford the upgrades.
We need these Banes to
We got
connect.
Marauders to
The Marauders
tank.
are now in the front. They can soak those Baneling connects really, really well.
Oh my god.
And I just don't know that Reynor can hold this. I think this game's about to end.
Well,
Yeah, he
given up
can't
his
hold
base,
it.
So this is going to be the second base that has been given up in this game. And you can't do that forever, that's for sure. He is on 3 bases, technically against 2, I guess, but it looks like Maru has just landed his own 3rd base. So yeah,
2-2's finishing up.
It continues to get worse here.
I do like this run by here from Reynor to maybe try to find some damage and force Maru back home.
Got the Lings trying to
This has
counterattack.
potential.
They do get through.
Yeah, gets in.
Okay, we're making
And
something happen.
into the main, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big deal. That did not come
Jesus.
up. And look at this, he forces a liftoff on everything else during this time. That is
Nice
a big
counterattack,
He's
nice run by.
Getting some reasonable damage done.
He's killed 6.
Again, as we mentioned, Reynor, he could not fight Maru head on, but the counterattack of the run by is this is where damage is being dealt. A lot of damage. 23.
23 SCVs have been killed.
And you can see,
And Maru is
Maru
back to
turns
square one. They're
everything
still
back
in the
around.
main.
Okay, so Maru's army is still much better, right?
Yes.
Like, he's still got much better tech. There's nothing else really going on for Reynor.
As they're
Reynor's
hinting at,
making magic
the
happen.
reality is that if they fight head on, Maru wins. But it's all about Reynor avoiding that fight, right? Just avoid the fight for as long as possible.
So like another
Backstab, counterattack, buy enough time to try to recover in the game in some way.
In fact, we're seeing this right now.
Which way? It's not really clear. Like it's, I would still say that there's no like clear path for Reynor to recover in this game, but he can buy time.
Move out. He has. Sorry, Reynor has 4 bases. He started his 4th over here.
And I need to mention also is that Maru's up 2 upgrades, which is
Yeah,
insane.
like 3-3s on the way.
Duckling versus Marine.
This is crazy.
Makes this so much harder. This base is going to get canceled out in a matter of seconds. If Reynor had like anything else going on, I would be like, okay, man, he's really doing it. And the thing is, he's done so much damage. He's stayed alive miraculously in gun counter damage, but there's not a lot else. Like, he's getting Bro, okay, he's getting 2-2, okay. All that's a long ways off.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Reynor to play this out. There's just an inherent advantage you have, as you're seeing right now, with Marine, Medevac, you just being able to pick up and able to run away. Melee units are just inferior when it comes to fighting, unless Reynor can find that amazing Baneling or 2 connect that kills everything, and that's really going to come down to Maru making a mistake more than Reynor having a genius play here.
Well, it draws a mine shot in there, and will deal a little bit more damage. These medevacs coming up, he will surround those immediately and clears that out pretty well. But this group that's up in his main base again is definitely very difficult to deal with. He's bringing up more units as well, but Maru is really paying a lot of attention here. I don't think you're going to get a lot of free kills.
Yeah, Maru is starting to get too big everywhere here. The good angling here of the Marauders is going to make it really hard for these Banes to connect. And even then, Maru manages to pick up and dart right back out.
Oh, it looks like
Once again, Maru is going to be the first to max out, so we're waiting for 3-3 to kick in. If you wanted to, could tech up from here, I suppose. If you wanted to, towards like an academy. I don't think he needs a Ghost Academy, but sure.
Now, Maru's at 160.
Here comes the main push, right through the center.
121. And
Never mind,
that
more drop play.
should mean that Terran, if they regroup, can probably just kill the Zerg in one fell swoop.
You think so?
Yeah. But, I think it might be hard for Maru to even know.
So what they're trying to say is that Maru, he can aim.
He's hitting a lot of different locations at once, and in some ways that's a little bit easier for the Zerg because he can kind of throw stuff there, even though they do get shaped down over time. But I just do worry that there's no way out. I mean, Maru's literally about to
Like, what's going on? This game was supposed to be over. It has been over for like 5 minutes. I apologize if that didn't make it, if that wasn't clear, 007, but it has been over. It's Reynor's dead body's been playing for like the past like 6 to 7 minutes at this point.
And he's definitely attacking with a much bigger army at this point. You can see Reynor trying to hold on. He might be giving up this base once again. No, he's going to decide to stay and fight, but this could mean that this is going to be close to the end.
Yo, let's go, Bard Banelings.
Banelings that were never set off. They're burrowed back there. And I think we can see the red trickling across the map. That's going to be the follow-up push here from Maru.
Big Baneling landmine over there.
Yeah.
That could be crucial in the continued effort for a comeback if he walks over it.
Yeah, he's far away from it now. And I think this is just going to be too much. We've just seen Reynor kind of, you know, GG. He's just been dizzy since that initial attack. He was never able to quite get back on his feet. And super risky, super unorthodox.
Yeah, GG well played. Running it back, it all came down to the first build of choice from Maru. Maru did go for a 4-axe, if you remember. He went for a 4-axe stim timing, a very strong timing there from Maru. And once again, Reynor didn't scout. He did not scout, he did not confirm. His overlords were not in position. If you remember, his overlords were out of position because he was checking top right for the spawn location. So Reynor, he was checking elsewhere. Then when he realized the spawn location, the overlords were I mean, they were obviously slow to try to fly on over, so he had no vision, no realization, and Maru, he did win the game with his first push. The game was elongated, of course, and the game continued, but it was Reynor playing from behind the entire time. He was like at death's door. And as we were trying to emphasize, like Reynor, he could never fight the army head on. He could counterattack, and he was able to buy time, but buy time for what? Like, unfortunately, he was just so far behind upgrade-wise and economically as well, where the only real way to recover in that game would have been if Maru made mistakes. Like, if Maru, like, commanded his army into Reynor, then sure, then, like, he can bring it back. But, like, that's kind of what Reynor was relying upon there, to try to recover in that game. Otherwise, GG. GG well played. With that, Maru takes a 2-1 lead, and now we're getting into game number 4. Let's go. Game 4 is going to be on Celestial Enclave. Ooh, and this is a better map for Terran when it comes to turtling. We'll get into it.
We go into game number 4. In the bottom left, in the red, he is Maru. And his opponent in the top right, in the blue, makes some noise for Reynor.
Right, I am excited to see what these guys have to show us on this map.
Okay, so winding it back, if you remember, we expected to see aggressive builds out of Maru on Mothership. And remember our rationale. The reasoning for this is because on Mothership, the bases are more open, they're more exposed, they're more spread out. So trying to defend your 4th and your 5th and your 6th on Mothership is very difficult. It's a difficult thing to achieve, a difficult thing to ask. So we expected, I mean, I was expecting a 2-1-1 or a 3CC 3-racks. Or 3-racks, we saw 4-racks instead. So to be fair, like I was expecting aggression, I was expecting that build specifically, and we saw Maru just go for a 2-base all in. Here, welcome to Celestial Enclave. This is a much larger map of the map pool, much more defensive. You have a pocket base, you have a high ground natural, you have a secure 3rd. I say secure 3rd because your pocket base and your natural is so secure that expanding and taking your linear 3rd base is also very natural to you because you can leave your army in position. We have seen Maru successfully turtle up and get into the late game on Celestial Enclave against Protoss. I can see that happening here against Zerg as well. Now, because it's so difficult to be aggressive with a ground-based composition, there's a very high chance that Reynor plays mutas here on Celestial Enclave. So we'll see. We'll see if we go into mutas, and we'll see if Maru plays for a longer later game this time. But the map itself does kind of lean towards a very different playstyle compared to Mothership.
Where there's not a significant amount of damage dealt, maybe we can get into that end game tech. The funny thing is that last game, Maru actually hit 3-3 before the end, which is not something you'd expect after 5 barracks SCV pull.
I thought it was 4-racks, maybe it was 5-racks.
So for now, we've got the drones being transferred and Ling's speed started. The Reaper is going to come up, do a little bit of scouting. And, you know, there's not a whole lot to unpack for you guys just yet here, unlike the previous games. The Reaper is going to move around and basically confirm that Reynor's not doing anything crazy. you know, because the Reaper's here, you always try to go for a couple drone kills, but I don't think
Calm
they're
down,
gonna let that
Bickway.
happen.
Calm down.
On the Terran side of the map, the third command center has started, signaling to us that
For now,
Maru is going for a
third
very,
CC
very
before, is that before
probably the one
Factory?
he's most known for.
Yeah, 3 CC 3 ranks. Okay, if you remember, I expected something along the lines of this in the previous game, but this is going to be a very greedy build. Meanwhile, look at this. That is a sub 3-minute lair out of Reynor. Remember what we said at the start of the game? We expected to see Maru play for a longer later game. We expected to see Mutas out of Reynor, and so far this feels like 2-base Muta, but if gases aren't taken, this could be a Link Queen Nidus all-in. As a lot of links on the way, I'm leaning more towards Link Queen Nidus. Let's go.
You know, you have the option to take the easy base for the hard base, right? And so it's not shocking that Maru's going to go for this. He gets 2 engineering base next, so all of this.
Yep,
is just
no extra
not
gases. Show us the spot. Sorry, show us a Nidus.
Yeah. So
Do the casters notice?
You know, adding on the E-Bays, looks like we're gonna get Maru into a
Do the
big
casters notice? The observer's trying to point it out. Look, the observer, he's pointing. Look, the observer's like, guys, look. He's like circling he's checking Overlord vision. He's circling the lack of workers.
Jump up to the 3 commands quickly. Jump up
Overlord
to the
speed,
racks,
drop
so we're gonna
lords.
make a lot of units and 2 E-Bays. It's like, okay, you're really planning a gigantic.
But you can see the observer, who's Ziggy. Ziggy's a Polish Terran. He's like desperately trying to make the casters notice. He's like, guys, look.
Decided, well, hold on a second. We just have more and more lings being made here.
You know, they just realized.
Is it going to be Queen drop plus Ling?
Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is.
Yo, shout out to Ziggy, by the way. You can see. I've noticed multiple times this broadcast where he's desperately trying to make the casters notice. You can see he's like desperately trying to like circle things with the mouse or like zooming in, and then he just goes by unnoticed. Like they, whether it's Tastosis or State or Gemini, they just it's fine. It's fine.
Just drop. Yeah. And just hit hard.
Much love to
I'll tell
Ziggy.
you
Much
what,
love.
I think, you know, this map, it's probably the safest map to do a 3-base play.
Yeah.
Because you normally can't get hit, but this is one of the only rushes, or maybe we should say all-ins, that would allow you to do that.
Well, let's see what Maru's going to do when he sees the OV.
Now remember, Maru has a 3 racks, so he has Mass Marine. Oh no, he gets surrounded! Oh, surrounded, no bunker. Massive start here for Reynor coming in from behind. GG. GG.
We don't even get to see the fight happen.
Wow.
An immediate tap out.
This is crazy.
And again, this is... And again, this is very similar to what we saw last game. What do I mean by that? We spoke about the map, and I want to bring it back to the map as well. On Mothership favors Zerg in a longer, later game. So we expected Maru to be aggressive. Meanwhile, Celestial Enclave, remember what we spoke about? Celestial Enclave is the opposite, where you favor Terran in a longer, later game. So Maru all in, sorry, Reynor all in. So Maru all in on the Zerg favored map, and then Reynor all in on the Terran favored map. That's kind of like been the trajectory and the rationale behind that. Is that in longer games, the opposite race is more favored, so both players opted to all in, and both players went unscouted. GG. GG, well played.
Yes,
slices,
that's
the cheese product.
That's the sandwich cheese, the cheap stuff you get.
They come to a break. But now we're tied up. We're tied up 2-2. 2 wins for Maru, 2 wins for Reynor.
That's crazy. Anyways, guys, we're far from done. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue on with the LCQ finals here at the RSL Day 1. We will be right back.
Okay, we're cutting to a break. So after this, gonna be cutting to a break here. When it comes to our return, I believe, what are the maps? We're gonna be coming back on Tokamak. Ooh, okay, Tokamak, followed by Winter Madness and Magnetic North. We'll get into it. For now, though, we're gonna be cutting to a break. We'll come back soon in 3 minutes' time with Tokamak. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are mid-series here in the final match of the broadcast in the 2025 RSL Revival StarCraft League Last Chance Qualifier co-stream. And the winner of this series will be advancing on to tomorrow's event, to the final playoff day of RSL. Oh boy, is it going to be Reynor? Is it going to be Maru? Right now we're tied up 2-2. It has been a hyper-aggressive series, and we'll see if that aggression continues. Up next, we're going to be loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is another larger map of the map pool. Tokamak does favor longer and later games, and I would actually favor Maru getting into this. So I feel like the pressure is once again going to be on Reynor to be aggressive, to try to end things early, or maybe to take to the skies. We'll keep an eye on his lair tech timing. We'll keep an eye on his gases.
They're world class in every game, but I mean, 4 games in a row is wild. Are we going to get a 5th? Only time will tell. And it looks like we're actually ready to go into that now. Our map is Tokamak here. Remember, the winner is going to go on and play in the final spot here for tomorrow's Final Four.
Let's go.
In the top right, in the red, make some noise for Maru. And in the bottom left, in the blue, guys, give it up for Reynor.
Very exciting to
And the crowd goes mild.
They're going to be planning for each of these games.
Crazy.
It's just been so
2x Reaper. Let's go.
this series.
So we do have Maru opening up with the low ground setup. Should be 2x Reaper out of Maru, going for a more aggressive and assertive start to the game. And we'll see what Maru can get done.
I'm waiting for my big macro game.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it.
I want to see snipes. And
I mean, this is aggressive. This is not all in. So this can still lead into a longer macro game.
All these great things that happen in the late game.
Well, this game, at least on Maru's end, he's going to go for pressure play. This was popularized, I think, mostly by Beyond. But there was a period in StarCraft 2 where I felt like everybody just started doing it because, I mean, frankly, it worked.
So chats, how big is the crowd? Is it a small studio with like 30 people? So it's a relatively small studio. I mean, it's the same size as like GSL, right?
2 or 3 years ago, where everybody was
Same size studio. But in general, like Korean crowds are usually a little bit more respectful. They're less rowdy. They're less rowdy and less, you know, rambunctious. So yeah, that's kind of like where you're getting very gentle golf claps for the players. Let's go.
And maybe it's gonna look like it would be
with
like
a
delayed Reaper.
Woo! Every now and then, like
Maybe he walks out, catches an overlord. Maybe he
Every
just
now and
walks
then.
across the map and tries to apply that pressure. I really don't know because it's such a strange, different build here.
Now,
it doesn't. Here's one thing. It doesn't look like something that can end the game quickly. Well, it absolutely doesn't.
So this is not 2x Reaper, it's 2x Marine. So this has been seen before. With this, you can hunt down the Overlord, you can zone away, and you can follow this up with a stronger bio timing. Now, this is a build that Future did popularize back in the day. This was back in 2023. Future, he was doing this build, and if you're watching Maru as of late, and Tasters should recognize this, Maru did do this build, and so did Björn in recent times in recent RSL. The goal here is to move out to try and delay the third base with a bunker, potentially. So we've seen this before.
Well, you know, it's funny because there were no Reapers. He went right into Factory.
Yeah.
He does have Marines that can put on pressure. He is sending an SCV across the map. I think he had that idea.
I was checking the third.
Reynor took the triangle base.
Yeah.
So he's going to do this, but this is going to be second slate, and the Overlord sees it. So this is
But he only has 2 lings.
Yeah, you're right.
Eyes going for the spine. Misread.
What?
Yeah, misread out of Reynor.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Only 2
there's
lings.
basically no way to save.
He's going to force a cancel.
6 lings now. Now, there's only 1 SCV here, but he would have to basically overwhelm the bunker, and I don't think those lings are going to be ready in time.
No.
This is the health is being plowed down faster than the building of the HP can come in, and he needs to cancel. He does. A catastrophic moment.
Nice pickoff. Maru takes the lead.
So do you just put the Marines in there, or do you try to get them to go home?
Nah, just go home. Salvage.
I think you lose them if you go home, but he might just go home.
I think it's better to just trade them as best you can.
Oh.
But yeah, it looks
Oh,
like
doesn't get in. No. Can he get in? He cannot. Nice cleanup by Reynor.
You know, overall, this is a win here for Maru. I would say so. I think it could have been a little bit better if he hadn't gone greedy with those Marines suddenly. But yeah, I think overall, killing the Overlord, canceling out the hatch, getting the drone.
So 3 CC2 on follow-up here. This should lead into bio, but we have seen, if you remember, God, this was earlier this year, we did see, I think it was Maru go into, oh, never mind. I was going to say go for a 2x opener into mech, which did happen earlier this year. But here it is going to be double eBay. We're going to bio.
Does this sort of
Now, very quickly, I don't know if you notice, it's important to like kind of have an idea of how builds work. This is double eBay before Starport. So late Starport, late Medivacs, fast double eBay, fast double. Oh, no, he gets in. Let's put a pin on that. That should not have happened. Is that game? Oh my god. Okay. Massive scout as well. He gets into the main.
It's super annoying. He actually, at the end of the day, is
Maru.
that many workers, but he lost his Marines,
Mech.
slowed everything down.
Was that
Reynor
double
got a full
factory?
scout, he got
Yeah, it
3 CVs.
is.
Yeah, you know,
Remember, we brought it up. We've seen 2-Max Marine into mech. We saw that at Maru earlier this year. It is mech.
yeah.
All that Maru wanted to do was just set up an add-on there. He had to move the
casters haven't
barracks,
noticed.
like, just like a, one position to the left and then reset.
You see Ziggy's doing it. Ziggy, he's like, look,
behind
look,
this,
guys, look.
What?
There it is.
It's gonna be mech. Yeah. And he's doing this because the 2 engineering bays were scouted.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He's
Oh my
faking
God.
stim.
Getting stim out of the front bunker. This is
So originally this was going to be double eBay before Starport to go into what was meant to be an 8 racks. This would have been the beginning of an 8 racks of a 3-base stim all in or a 3-base bio all in. But because he got scouted, he hard switched into mech, which again we have seen Maru do this before.
Play to that. Now instead, what Maru does, he's not gonna use these eBays at all.
no.
Throw him in the trash. He's gonna instead. He's just gonna go.
Thankfully, Reynor's playing roaches. Like Reynor, he's playing very safe, very defensive, going into 1-1, into roach warren, into +1 range. So he's going into roach play, so he should be okay.
He's
May
still
as
getting
well.
stim at the entrance, and that, again, that's a waste of money. But you're selling the fact that you're going for mech.
As
I see in the
long
chat
as Reynor
MMM
thinks
plus mech.
is what's being
No,
made,
it's
he's not
just
going
it
to
should
have
just
the
be
right
mech.
counter for these units.
So just
As
mech.
long as he thinks bio is what's being made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Stim is
So,
going to be
I call
cancelled,
biomech.
or at least it should be cancelled.
Canada
So,
destiny.
so he's going to get the 3rd CC landed. And the question is going to be, when does Reynor check again? Because you know what Raynor's probably
Yep, there's a
doing is
cancellation.
staying back, and he's just going to try to get ready for this one big attack. And he's going to try to hold it off. But dealing with mech is very different.
It is, and when Blue Flame finishes, he might start to have an idea about that, but right now sitting on +1 carapace, playing with Zergling speed, these are not the right tools. Now,
But
roaches
fun facts,
aren't
again,
gonna be bad,
as you mentioned,
okay?
Reynor is going for a big roach push. Reynor can end the game with mass roach. Like, Blue Flame Hellions, they do nothing to roaches. So even though Reynor doesn't know what's going on, he's blind countering. He's just blind countering his opponent.
This is actually so funny. He's making so many Hellions that if you're on an only Zergling, look at how many Hellions. That doesn't even make
Yeah,
sense.
there's more Hellions
Yeah.
than there are Zerglings right now.
Why does he have
There's 22 roaches.
That is so many.
Like, Reynor can just A-move.
A million Zerglings couldn't kill that.
Yeah. Now, I still feel like roaches are going to be good versus this.
Yeah, roaches are great.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Like, Baro's going to lose everything, and then he just counterattack.
What wins Hellions or roaches? Now you know.
So with that, Reynor, he should just win. From here, he should just A-move across the map. We have tanks on the way. If Reynor can hit before the tanks are out, Reynor can break the natural.
Yeah.
He's making tanks.
He's going for it.
And by the way, when you see that many Hellions, the secret's out.
Yeah.
You are not going for bio.
There's quite a few factories behind this without any doubt.
Right.
Hopefully he can get some siege tanks out.
And yeah, Reynor, he's arrived. He's arrived across the map. He's at the natural.
The Roach is coming up, and yeah, they're going to be able to kill off this barracks super, super fast. This
Tanks
is
are
not
out.
Looking very good for Maru at the moment.
I gotta say, like, you know, if you were to grade a game based off of just like style, you know, the mid game would have gone to Maru, but then it really comes down to what actually works. The mech play was deceptive. Doesn't matter. This game's over.
GG.
Reynor takes game 5. Hey, look at what he just said.
Well, Maru's
WTF.
switch was like, the thing is, Reynor is not that much of a Roach guy. He's definitely more of a Ling guy.
Yeah.
And if you're just sitting on Lings and maybe even
Oh,
adding
watch.
in some Banes,
He's gonna check. So
Yeah.
this is him going back in there.
Yeah, Reynor, he's double
looking at the
checking.
Lings go back
Again,
up into the
this
game.
is emphasizing what we said. As you saw, Reynor checked the replay. Reynor didn't scout. Reynor didn't know what Maru was doing. Reynor didn't care what Maru was doing. Reynor was blindly going for a roach push anyway. So the stars aligned, right? Like the stars aligned. Reynor, he just blindly was just going for a roach push anyway. Maru happened to going mass Hellion, and then Maru got hard countered. He got blind countered is the better way of putting it. Because again, Reynor didn't know what was happening. He just had no idea. He's like, I guess I just win. Okay. let's go.
Happened to be the counter for the secret
that
move
was the
that Maru
double
had.
blind counter.
Yeah, and then yeah, it just kind of blew up in Maru's face.
And
so
they
going
just
to
the
game
casters
6
just said
now.
it
If
as
Reynor
well,
wins
like
this,
blind counter.
He's moving on to tomorrow's official Final Four here for the offline finals. If Maru wins, we're tied up 3-3. In the top left in the red, give it up for Maru. In the bottom right in the blue, let's make some noise for Reynor.
I'll get the clappers in the chat.
Wow.
God
Wow.
damn.
I loved the ideas. I am a little bit surprised that Reynor decided to make a ton of roaches. But
Yeah.
it definitely pays off there. It's not like they would have been terrible against Bio anyways.
No, it would have been good. Sorry.
Maybe a little bit too much from Maru there. You know,
So,
kinda a little bit
as a reminder, very quickly, what Reynor did was calculated against the 8 racks. Sorry, so remember, what did Reynor scout? He didn't scout the mech, but he saw double eBay. Double eBay before Starport screams 8 racks. And if you watch GSL Season 2 this year, Solar versus Maru, on Tokamak, hey, it was the same map actually. On Tokamak, what did Solar do? Solar actually hard countered Maru, because that was back when 8 racks was really popular, and Solar was able to hit with a roach all in before the buy, before the 8 racks kicked in, before the final racks is finished, before the third base got saturated. Solar beat Maru, and Solar knocked Maru out of GSL this year with the roach all in. And I want to say that Reynor's build there was a reaction to scouting the double eBay and was trying to hard counter Maru's 8 racks. So regardless of whether Maru had committed to his 8 racks initially, like was the original plan, or switching to mech, like it just both worked out for Reynor. I'm bringing this up just because the casters, I think Artosis, he was saying like, it's kind of crazy, like Reynor's not really a roach boy, like I guess it's kind of works that he did that anyway. It's like, no, like that was like Reynor's build was a response and a reaction to what he had scattered previously, which was meant to be an 8 racks. It's like, it was like, it made sense from Reynor's side of things. He just happened to also be countering whatever the hell Maru was doing, which was which was Matt's Hellion.
if they both enter towards like
But if you missed Solar versus Maru GSL this year, like you can see something very similar.
Here, you know, it's just they're both conditioning each other to be very paranoid at the moment.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The craziest thing we could see is upgrades for the units they're going to use, Artosis.
That would be wild.
So, the Reaper comes.
Do you need a clapping emote next? I do like. I was, when I was thinking when I'm hearing the crowd in the background clapping, and when I'm hearing all this, I'm reminded of, remember Base Trade TV? They had the Tasia clap emote, they had the Tasia clap, which was very iconic. Not saying we want our own Tasia clap, but getting our own clapping emote, I like it. I like the idea.
Or if he just gets the starport right away after the factory's done.
I like it.
And it is going to be the starport. Now, there are many different kind of games that can come from here, but so far this branch of the build is normal, is standard. Reynor's getting his third base,
1-1-1.
base like this. Obviously,
Hyper aggressive at Maru.
Standard, but you need to drone up a little bit more before you could even make any kind of tech switch.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Like, you got to get that economy really flowing.
So if the casters are saying this is standard, this is not. This is not standard. Maru, he's going for a delayed third CC. He's going for a faster starport. He's going into faster Banshee play, and this can lead into a Banshii Hellbat push. This is much more aggressive from Maru.
As old as time here in StarCraft 2, and you'd imagine he's going to go for a pretty quick third after this. Occasionally you do see 2 base builds after Banshee Hellion, but I got to tell you, I don't feel like they're as good.
I agree.
So just pushing back on what they're saying, this is a late third base out of Maru. Very late third, very aggressive build, because that Maru has to get damage with this, otherwise he'll fall behind. Otherwise he's just playing inefficiently.
And the Banshee, again, I'm kind of glad we're going to see something.
So he needs damage.
Standard here. As crazy and as fun as this series is.
It's going to be up to Reynor to survive the aggression.
He's going to come down now, and he's actually going to go for what would look like it was a dive, but the Lings are going to be here.
He's going for the dive. He's trying to.
Reynor really thins this
Oh
out.
my god.
You want to be throwing these units onto workers, but instead it's going to be only 2 orange.
He does get in. How many drones can he get? So far, just 1.
And you need to get a lot of drone kills. I don't know that it's going to happen. And you can see Reynor's now.
Does he get 2? Not even. Oof.
And that was a bit of a hemorrhaging play there for Maru.
Yeah. Didn't do what he was looking for, that's for sure. But, he's trying to keep some of that pressure on. He's getting a little bit of scouting intel.
And just bringing it back as a reminder, the reason why Maru dove like that, as we mentioned, is because Maru is being hyper aggressive and because his third base is late. He needed to find damage and he failed to get damage. Maru's in a rough position. Like, this isn't just that Maru lost Hellions, it's that Maru lost Hellions and he delayed his third base and it wasn't worth it. Not yet.
Two engineering base made when you see a third command center. So just with the command center alone,
whether it's mech or not.
Yeah. I said that's a good point. He could go mech. This one time I'm just assuming he can't do it, but really that would be counter to the narrative we've already had here. So the Banshees are going to come out. Stim has started, and we won't see any pushing on the map until Terran has that Stim done.
Yeah, and we got this Banshee flying around, getting a couple lings with its Captain America shields, and seeing if he can get any drones in here as well. Cloak is completed, and it looks like he's joined them up. So definitely has a bit of potential for damage.
Okay, double Banshee, but the support's in position.
Okay,
Gets one, gets two.
For some more worker snipes here. You need to get a couple more drones before those Banshees have really paid for themselves. You can, once this harass is sort of fizzled out, you can kind of pair these with the pushes and kind of use them to sustain.
Yeah.
The 5 Raxes are finishing here, and that's really where the whole economic engine has kicked in for the 3-base Terran. You're finally actually printing that army that you want to use in the mid-game.
Yeah, and look at the amount of Raxes he's actually going up to here. It's like a 7 or 8 barracks pump, so it could be one of these just like kind of rally pushes, right? These parade pushes where it's just non-stop pushing forward, trying to just kill the Zerg by overwhelming numbers.
So what Artest is trying to say is that this is a 3-base all-in, this is an 8 racks. If you remember, this was the build that Maru was trying to get into last game. If you remember, with the fast double eBay, but he failed to get there. Well, I say failed to get there. He hard switched into mech, didn't quite work out. But this is hyper aggressive. There's a 3-base all-in. There's no gases at the 3rd base. There's no 2nd factory. There's no 4th TC, and there's no add-ons on the extra 3 Raxes. So again, this is 3-base all-in out of Maru. This hits very hard. We'll see if Reynor can survive.
That's inevitable in a TvZ that really
The early game was in favor of Reynor.
The position is anchored. That's what you want to see. Can the Zerg hang on, or maybe punish an overextending Terran, or can the Terran slowly bleed the Zerg out?
Right now we're watching Maru's point of view here, trying to get a little bit of harassment damage done, but it looks like Reynor's pretty on top of what's going on. The Hellions come up to help a little bit, but more Lings coming
Reynor trading well with these Lings. Picks off a lot of Marines.
Once again. Maru continuing the push forward.
Behind this, I did see that Reynor was getting a hive. Was he getting a hive before Bailing speed?
And this is going to be the moment.
Reynor, he's skipping Bailings. He's going Ling into hive. No. This is a style that he was doing earlier this year during my assist of the game. This was what, back in July? Back in August? Jesus. It's so greedy. Nice Fuggles. No shot. No shot. Remember, this is without Bailings. Intentionally, Reynor, he skipped Bailings to try to pull this off. He should be punished. Reynor should die here. Like, he should die. Like, what Reynor's doing is illegal. Trying to go Ling into Ultra without Bailings, without Roaches. Up against an 8 racks.
He has to control perfectly, and even then, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
No, it's looking a little bit rough right now, but
we have Infestors on the way. Fungals are coming.
Huge amount of production, and he needs this to work. He didn't even start 2-2 upgrades. There is no follow-up for Maru. He is completely all in here on 3 bases.
The stim comes down, and I mean, the Lings are going to get all the way around. They surround here, and the Marines, I think they have to be picked up. Is there enough sustain here? No. Ooh, yeah, it looks
it's
like
so close.
Very, very close as more Marines come up, but some Lings cause
another Fungal lands. Oh my god.
And this is not looking good for Maru once again. He pulls back his medevacs.
Yeah, Reynor's done it. Reynor's done it. I mean, his early game was good, right? Remember, he had the better early game. He was able to shut down the aggression. Maru had a late 3rd TC.
Yeah, I didn't even appreciate how well positioned.
And Reynor got away with it. Again, like, this build should be illegal up against an 8 racks, but it was like it was not an ideal 8 racks out of Maru.
And he's going to hit this hatchery. Hold on.
Here come the Ultras.
Low, but now the Ultras hatch. And these are going to come in here, and there is no way to save this.
Oof.
Yeah, that Fungal goes down onto these
Fungal lands.
Very painful indeed. The Liberators actually did a pretty good job eliminating some of those Infestors, so that was helpful. He has a decent amount of Marines at home. He's pulling back his Siege Tank.
Fungal's good AoE damage too, to be honest, against Marines. Yes, but usually it shouldn't be enough to defend against this. Oh, as Reynor overextends. But as we tried to mention, part of the reason why this is working is that Reynor had the stronger early game.
I was pretty sure.
Okay.
Otherwise, the 3-base all-in is meant to punish the Zerg player being greedy in such a way.
So he's going to send those back.
I think a good example of this, if you watched Clem versus Serral at Masters of the Game earlier this year, you'd see examples of Clem punishing Reynor trying to do this. Like, Reynor, he tried, and not just Clem punishing, I want to say that Bjorn also punished Reynor as well. In that period, in the weeks surrounding Masters of the Game, you would have seen Reynor doing this every game. He was doing this very, very often, and failing every time. Like, we saw him lose so many TvZs or ZBTs trying to do this. But hey, it's finally working. all these months later, it's finally working. Crazy.
No, it certainly is not. In fact, on most maps, it's a little bit tricky to end up taking. And he has to kind of turtle up a little bit as well. Don't forget, the upgrades of Reynor are going to be much better. He's going to be on 2-2 against 1-1 for a very long time, even starting +3.
Because if you remember, Reynor was doing this during the Open Cups, like during like Pegasus Cup or What Is It Mondays, or the Open Cups that were during that period of time. This was post EWC.
And Maru's just trying to make it into some sort of position that's playable.
Yeah, he's trying to package the next couple minutes into securing a safe fourth base.
Now, winding it back here, Maru's fourth base is late, his gases are late, his second factory is late, his like late game tech, like Ghost Tech is late. Everything is late for Maru. Reynor's maxed with a high tech army, and Reynor is kind of snowballing out of control from here. Snowballing out of control.
And either kill him or drive him off. Now, there is a world where maybe Maru holds with perfect control. Yeah. He's probably the best in the world at these kind of positions. And we're getting to that moment in this game right now. The scouting Ling sees the fourth base. We see the army moving.
I would agree. Like right now, Maru just has to turtle. He has to turtle up and survive, and Reynor has to try to break the turtling Terran. We'll see if he can.
Pour all these banked up resources into Banelings to have a lot of explosive damage to basically burst open this position.
Well, the funny thing is, Maru is like somehow, some way, basically maxed out as well. So he's gonna have an army that can kind of fight. The problem is he is still down 2 upgrades, so that is going to make it a bit harder. Now here we go, Reynor.
He's collapsing in
this ramp right now, and he has got a ton of ultras and banes coming through. But
yeah, and again, there's just no answer to the ultra. There's no answer.
Well.
Yeah, the Banelings are slow.
Nice spread.
Their targets. Some of them are not quite connecting. And you know what? Maru survives. He lost about 40% of his supply.
Jesus.
Now, obviously, Reynor lost a lot, but he's already remaking those units, so he's maxed out once again.
Oh my, the fungal landed. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that was a pretty big moment there.
Yeah, and Reynor's done it. Reynor, he has done it. It's been an intense series, an intense day of StarCraft. A crazy back and forth, hyper aggressive series. Winding it back, what happened this game? We had the 1-1-1 into failed aggression. Reynor shut it down, and Reynor will take the series 4-2. GG.
He is moving on to that 4th spot here. He'll be playing in the final 4 of the RSL offline finals tomorrow. What an insane series, Artosis.
That was a wild one. Absolutely fantastic showing there from Reynor. Very different, very weird games overall, but he takes down the best Terran in the history of the game.
A very anime finals here, Artosis, as 2 of the greatest macro players had some of the cheesiest games back and forth until there was no more cheese.
Is Artosis going to start like arguing to like the void about Rogue being the GOAT? Is that what's going to happen right now? Jesus.
Or the Terran, from the Terran's perspective, the 4th base being denied, and then you win there. Crazy series. Glad we got to at least Game 6 there in what was an incredible finals.
Yeah. Very well done. And, you know, we were talking at the beginning of the day, like, who do you want to see go through? And while I wanted a Protoss, you guys were saying, let's have Reynor go through. Let's have Maru go through. So it was a great finals. No matter who won, it was going to improve tomorrow's games.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be a lot of fun to see what Reynor can do against these strong Protosses.
Crazy games here today. I think we are ready for that interview now. So we're going to go see how Reynor's feeling now that he has made it to tomorrow's final.
What are they going to ask him? Show us what you got.
An absolutely ridiculous series. We've got Reynor here on the couch. I mean, I gotta ask how you're feeling, man. I mean, Maru coming in so strong as the favorite overall, I feel like, in this entire bracket. How do you feel after coming out with this victory?
Well, it feels amazing. I'm gonna be honest, I'm very confused.
True.
Those games were very confusing. Even when I won the last game, I had to count real quick if I actually won, you know, I wasn't sure. I don't know what happened, like, cheese after cheese after cheese, and then we finally had like somewhat of a macro game until he cheesed again. So I guess it wasn't really a macro game, but it feels amazing. I'm really excited for tomorrow.
He's referring to the 8 racks.
It's going to be really hard today, and I don't know, still got it, I guess.
I mean, I just have to ask as well, because like the types of games we saw from Maru today was absolutely out of pocket. I feel like starting off the best of 7 with a proxy 3 racks that caught you off guard a bit, we're not quite prepared for it. And then we had that one game with where you scout the 2 eBays, and then he just goes into mech and makes 5 billion Hellions for some reason. I mean, how did it feel to play against such a crazy mind game scenario in some of these games?
You know, in the first game, I was kind of feeling the proxy racks, and I was like, okay, there's really good chance because it's a Zerg map. Maru likes to start things off with cheese, but then I didn't really trust myself, so I said, okay, I'll just play hatch first, and it bit me back. So when I played in Tokamak and I scouted the 2E base, something was off, man. Like something was off. Like his reactor and tech lab were really late, and then I had a flashback of Yona telling me this kind of build dies to, like the really fast double E dies to Roach Ravager. So I canceled my +1 Billy.
Oh, that's why you canceled it. We were wondering why you would cancel
wild.
it.
Okay.
That, and also I was like, he hasn't played a single standard game yet. Surely he's not starting now. So I felt like something was off. Just in general, I had a weird feeling.
State hasn't watched
If you
StarCraft.
all in into this kind of build, it's always the best way. You know, just get it out of the way and most likely you break them.
That's wild. Just the Spidey sense.
Or GSL
kicking in is pretty
specifically.
Insane.
All right, so I've got to ask, you won today. 15 players. You're the only player that's going to survive into the Final Four tomorrow. But tomorrow you have 3 Protoss players waiting for you.
True.
In the top 4. How are you feeling about your ZVP, dude?
Dude, well, how does anyone feel about ZVP? No,
Yeah, true.
Jokes aside, my ZVP is alright. Tomorrow we got the best of the best. I think I'm against Classic first, right? Love it.
Yes.
Always love playing against Classic, and I'll do my best. Can I maybe get an advantage because I did all of this today?
You're warmed up, man.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
advantage.
I'm
Yeah,
warmed
it's
up.
a boon.
You started on
It's
day
a
one.
boon.
That's
You
a
got
classic.
the confidence.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you beat him in the last season though, didn't you? In the upper bracket, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't really, like, we trade kind of.
Yeah.
Like, he had the upper hand in the last patch. I started beating him. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, we kind of trade. I think he has the upper hand overall, though. But I'm excited.
Do you have any more questions you want to ask, Mr. State?
No, I just want to say good luck tomorrow, man. We're going to be cheering for you.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. I don't know, any little last words you want to say to any of the fans, anyone that's sticking around or anything like that?
Yeah, shout out to everyone for coming. It's a blast playing in offline stage again, and it's really good to see all the fans coming here. Shout out to Basilisk and shout out to Red Bull. Thank you guys so much for cheering for me. I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Reynor. Congratulations again. We're going to be going back over to Tastos is on the desk in just a little bit, but that was Reynor qualifying tomorrow.
GG. We have the final bracket here that's setting up. It is going to be Classic, Reynor, Hero, and Zaun. 3 Protoss and 1 Zerg. I don't know if I'm too fond of the phrasing or the kind of like the scenario that they were kind of portraying there, because they're like, oh, Maru, he was crazy, he was cheesing every game. So was Reynor. If you remember, Reynor, he went for a Ling Queen Drop Lord all-in on Celestial Enclave, and he went for a proxy hatch into Ling Flood on Evil Heart as well. So yeah, just for greater context, as they like to forget things that happened during some of the games, it was both players being hyper aggressive and very cheesy, very all in. Of course, it was Maru who was more so, especially towards the end for sure. But Reynor was like kind of like getting down and dirty with Maru alongside him. Like they were both animals, right? Both animals. But GG well played. Congratulations to Reynor for claiming the series. And with that, we have our, again, confirmed top 4. We have 3 Protoss, 1 Zerg player. As a reminder, that's going to be played out tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be returning here. It's going to be a single elimination bracket, but there is a 3rd place match. So it's going to be 4 series, 4 best of 7s. Is there a best of 9? Let me just double check. I don't think there is. Yes, all best of 7. Okay, so it's going to be 4 best of 7s. 4 best of 7s back to back to back. Hopefully it should be a bit of a shorter broadcast, but each series should be like maybe an hour and a half long each. So it's going to be a long one. I'm expecting like around the 6-hour cast, around 6 hours. Here, this did reach 8 hours, which is okay, I guess. 8-hour cast. I'm fine, but I'm a little bit worried about my bunnies. I know they're getting a little bit antsy. For those that are curious, whenever we finish casting here, I usually let the bunnies out to spend time outside for like a good 5-6 hours. But they're going to be let out a little bit late because the cast lasted a little bit longer than we expected. But it's all good. It's all good. They'll be okay. They're like, where's the food? Where are the snacks? Let us out, papi, let us out. So, gonna head out and let the bunnies free roam. They'll be okay. give them some snacks. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Again, !RSL to check out the Patreon for the event. And again, tomorrow is day 2. Tomorrow is the final bracket, the playoff bracket for the Revival StarCraft League offline event happening over in Korea with Reynor, Classic, Hero, and Zaun. So do check it out. We'll be there to co-stream as well. Hope you enjoyed the co-stream. Hope we weren't too intrusive. I did try to like pull it back a little bit. I feel like I have to find myself every time we co-stream, but sometimes I'm a little bit more heavy-handed, other times a little bit more laid back, sometimes a mix of the two. I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like talk over too much or just like be too assertive here when of course, you know, we have the main casters that are covering the event. I'm just trying to add what we can when we can, but otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of the RSL finals. Otherwise, as a reminder as well, we usually have Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sundays, but tomorrow we have RSL. We're moving Tuna Cup to Tuesday. So Tuna Cup has been moved over to Tuesday instead. We still have our regular weekly, just has been moved over a couple of days so we do not clash with RSL. Just as a heads up. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and with that, if you want to tune into more of the CranKy Ducklings, !socials. Oh, hold on. !socials in the chat, and you'll get a link to our social media pages. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings, so you can follow us there if you wish. Otherwise, you can follow us on YouTube. We do upload and stream to YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft happening over on YouTube. Just catching up in the chat. How do we watch Young versus Maru? Recast and replay? Unfortunately, yeah, I see Macrocosm in the chat. Unfortunately, that wasn't casted by anyone. It wasn't. We only co-streamed the mainstream. And Rotterdam was the B stream, but Rotterdam didn't cover Ryung versus Maru. So unfortunately, that wasn't casted by anyone. At the end of the event, check social media, because I believe, I believe RSL will be releasing a replay pack. But I was going to say check like Twitter for that sort of thing. But I believe the replay pack is going to be behind a paywall. I believe it's on Patreon. So if you're a patron, then you can get those replays after the fact. But I believe they do only give it out to patrons, just as a heads up. No. But otherwise, with that, we are going to be wrapping up for today. Thanks for watching. They released it to patrons. Yeah. So if you're a patron, then you will get replays from some of the other matches that were not casted. If you're interested in those games, or just in general. So again, check it out on Patreon. !RSL is there. Let us out. Oh no. Love your input, especially when you call Ziggy signs. It's very apparent at times where it's like, oh look, like again, like Ziggy, he knows what he's doing. Like he can see, he's a good observer. But sometimes you can notice him trying to point things out to the casters, and they're talking amongst themselves, and you can see the observer like struggling, like struggling in the background, like guys, look at what's going on. Much love to Ziggy, much love. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the final day of RSL. See you then. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Yeah, see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.